Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews, my channel. It's Tuesday night, so let's review the show that nobody watches on my channel, which is Legion, my favorite show on TV that's airing right now. And we're at episode 7, chapter 15. I keep screwing these up in my reviews, and I'd like to correct that right here for once. What is going on with this show? I mean, this is one of those where I'm really lost, and I'm sitting there paying attention, and normally I understand what's going on, but this is one where I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? So, full spoilers going forward right now, like always. So moral panic, I get it. There's the whole, what's scarier, the thing that frightens you, the fear or the frightened. And I really like Jon Hamm's narration, and I really like the imagery here. And it's something that is pretty basic and something we've all heard before. I did like how they took a kid reading comics, and somebody, a parent, going like, oh no, my kid's going down the wrong path. I went through a similar thing when I was a kid. People thought I was reading comics and they were the devil, you know, but just, whatever, but it's, yeah, something small starts and then a movement, so a small idea becomes this thing. And what should you really be afraid of? The thing or the reaction to it, kind of. And like they show with the Salem witch trials and everything. I mean, this has been going on forever. What I don't quite understand is the application for it completely in this episode. Because yeah, we have. I mean, here they went a really long way to get to this. I feel like there was all these other things going on to get to. They all think that Fukuyama, Basket Head, is the bad guy. And I think we were all supposed to think that too. And we've had, I've heard other theories on other reviews about whether this was, that he was the bad guy, he could be MODOK, that kind of thing. Honestly, I was trying to stay more focused on the Shadow King thing because I felt like all of that, the Basket Head thing, was kind of a distraction. That, I don't know. Because it turns out that he's just this little Asian guy, with scars and he's like got this neck brace on. Although he's like looking at cameras. Again, I don't understand, like are they, I guess, maybe the show is purposely misleading us to make us think that this guy is like just like the rest of them come in. And then it's like, they pull the wool out from under you. And it's just this fucking what? So those little black things are actually a thing? And what is that? There's some like black goo monster out there? Who is that? What is that? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it, I've never seen, is this a character from the comics? I don't remember it. Is it some kind of, offshoot of the Shadow King? I don't think so. But it's just this little black thing, like literally. Is that, like those eggshells that were on the ground in the hallway? Was that really there? I love this show, but this episode kind of annoyed me and kind of pissed me off. Almost like a little too, kind of felt pretentious. Because the whole what's real, what isn't, part of the show is usually, to me, done really well. And in this, it was all flash, all weird. Like, this really was like a David Lynch movie. because I really didn't know what the fuck was happening for those parts of the episode. What is pretty clear, so before I even get to that, because I am kind of fucking annoyed right now with this show, this episode at least, anyway, because it's still really well done and the music is fucking on and everybody's acting their ass off, and I love the scene with David talking to this giant goo bug whatever thing. I think that's hilarious. I thought it was very comic book looking. But seriously, what the fuck was that thing? Was it a figment of everybody's imagination? Was it just insanity? Was it part of David's insanity that got loose somehow? But no, people are walking around with a physical fucking egg, whispering into it, putting it on the counter. So they're infected, all these people are infected with this insanity. But where did the insanity come from? And how is it a fucking bug? Or whatever. Or is it? Is any of this really fucking happening? Maybe that's the point, I don't know. But this was one of those episodes where I was actually I was happier with the things that I could wrap my head around than the things that took me a second to think about. Like the whole Vermilion things, like them attacking Ptolemy and everything. Like, were they attacking him? Did that even happen? Is that why? Did they need to, think? Did he need to think they were attacking him? Is this the insanity, the dream, or whatever that's making them all act this way? I don't fucking know. So I'm really kind of ticked off at that part, that whole thing of the episode. It's just too weird. And too kind of I don't know. Maybe it's smarter than me. But it's a little too smart and a little too pretentious this week for its own good, in my opinion. And I love this show. I wouldn't buy 2 posters and a goddamn t-shirt. And, if you can't get enough, here's X-Men Legacy, the whole All About Legion. I've got a whole bunch of Legion stuff that I've been reading. But this episode just kind of taxed me to hey, how about just a little bit of straightforwardness? So let's get to the straightforwardness. And even that's a little hard. Because we have the Shadow King basically copying the way that, trying to figure out his own little hot-wired way to talk to future Sid. And he, I love that it's a car and he's got, I'm not even going to try to explain it because this episode hurt my fucking brain. But needless to say, if you've seen it, he's talking to Sid. And basically you find out what a lot of people are kind of thinking is that the real danger is David. And that he's the one that they have to stop in the future. Now, other people have seen this coming, and I've been kind of in denial about it. Because we've only got 3 episodes left. And I really hate for this season to end with David being the villain and continuing next year with him still being the villain. Or maybe they can figure out a way to stop this all from happening. But I don't know, man. The way this show is paced, I kind of feel like they're taking their time, and that could very well be a possibility. We're looking at end season David, kind of big bad, and then next year they'd be like, how do we, stop him without killing him, which is kind of a thing that goes into a lot of these X-Men comics, and Legion itself is bringing down a character like David or Proteus and everything without killing him. Reality bending kind of Omega level mutants. So we'll see. But the whole, scene with Farouk and Sid, future Sid, possible timeline Sid, this isn't for sure. You know what I mean? In her timeline, David becomes the villain. It doesn't mean it has to. And one of the things that kind of bugged me was, why didn't she just tell David, it's you? Why do we have to have this whole fucking, sneaky plan? You help Farouk so he can actually stop you. If he's the man you love, maybe he'd be reasonable. I mean, David loves Sid. maybe he really would like work around, fixing this. I don't know. But I like present day Sid, who's confronting Lenny and saying, I know what you are. You're just fucking noise. And it's true. She's a distraction. She's something to keep David occupied with her nuttiness. And the fact that she's, she took David's sister's body and she is dead. Called it. This isn't just some little, memory thing, or that she's in her body, and somehow in the back of, Amy's in the mind and that someday she could come out. No, she's fucking dead. So I want to put that fucking shit to bed. Because that's why, when I reviewed that episode, it was really crazy. They were destroying her. Anyway, this is one of those episodes that kind of gets me off on a tangent and not very focused. But I digress. Still trying to go through this. I mean, I almost kind of feel like, it's just... What's the point? Like this episode is kind of... The season is now, to me, starting to get away from itself. Because we've kind of, like, dealt with the Fukuyama storyline, it feels like. We've got Ptolemy connected to, I don't know. Is it a real tree? Is it just a machine? Are we supposed to... Is it just some real pretty, special effect? Another... very metaphorical looking thing where they show us a tree, but it's really a machine that he's hooked up to, or is it a tree machine? And he's inside it, and there's zeros and ones, and there's an old black lady on a rocking chair. Seriously, this is stuff of dreams, nightmares, David Lynch movies, and I'm hoping next week it's a little more followable. I don't dislike this episode. I just don't know what the fuck. Don't know what the fuck. It's as complicated as all the voices in David's head, which I did like. He was talking to himself. He was having a conversation with another person inside his head. So I really don't have anything else to say about this. I don't even know what I said about this. I think my review is about as intelligible as the episode I just watched. Maybe I need to watch it again. I don't know. But it's one of those that left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm going to pretty much end it there. So I'm sorry. If you like this video, which I doubt you'll even watch, hit the like button. We are at 47 subscribers. We only need 3 more to the big 5-0. And then we'll be doing our contests over on the Handmaid's Tale videos. So watch the Handmaid's Tale episode 4 review, and you'll get the details in the contest about the 50 subscriber thing. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. We got new comics reviews tomorrow, and the Handmaid's Tale tomorrow. So I was hoping to get to 50 before the next episode, but but we'll see next week. Hopefully by then we'll hit 50 and we'll do the contest. So anyway, this is Rob from my channel, Smirking Gun Reviews. Hoping to get back to a better episode, more incoherent episode and a more coherent review than this week. Otherwise, have a great night, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for all your support.